Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Pitchside Podcast. I'm your host, the HOD of the BSB. Like, share, comment to the video, subscribe to the channel, and enable notifications to receive all the updates from these match recaps and all other content on the channel. Follow us on social media. I'm at SidePSP on Twitter, PitchsidePod on Instagram, or listen to the podcast on Spotify, Google Podcasts, or any other platform, and you are welcome. We're coming to you straight after the first leg of the round of 16 of the Champions League between RB Leipzig and Liverpool. That's the game I chose to watch for a particular reason. I want to enjoy the tactics here, and certainly there was a lot of tactical sort of play in here. RB Leipzig started with what looked like on paper a 4-3-3 kind of formation, but on the field it was more of a 3-4-3 with Mukiele alongside Upamecano and Klostermann in the centre-back position. Tyler Adams plays as a wing-back alongside Angelino, Campbell and Sabitzer in the midfield, and in the front, almost like Atalanta 3-4-2-1 kind of shape with Nkunku and Olmo and Amado Haidara, kind of moving dynamically without a proper striker in those three. I think this game could be summed up in one big idea. Liverpool tried to bounce on the spaces on Leipzig. I mean, the high line that Leipzig play with, and they play with the high line, by the way, is a double-edged weapon. And with the sort of the shape and the way that Leipzig were playing, they handed Liverpool the game. They gave Liverpool almost everything they wanted from a defence against them. The spaces to move, the mistakes that can allow them to pounce on the two goals in particular. They gave them, loads of spaces. Any long ball that Henderson, Thiago, Alexander-Arnold, Robertson could play behind the defenders would somehow find its way towards Salah, Mane or Firmino, and that was really worrying in the first half, despite not scoring. For RB Leipzig, it was, they were comfortable when they have possession. Like, they weren't exactly losing balls high up the pitch or starting a counter for Liverpool. They were comfortable with the ball alongside them. They were comfortable on possession. They tried to pull wide, trying to pull the Liverpool players and open spaces behind the centre-backs, and they almost found some on a couple of transitions. They certainly have the most dangerous chance in the first half, thanks to Dani Olmo's header that hit the post, but after that, Liverpool managed to close down really well, and for a game where they entered as underdogs, and everybody was looking at them because of their defensive record, because of their defensive shambolic performances in the Premier League, it looks like RB Leipzig couldn't capitalise on these kind of situations. They didn't have a lot of situations where they found themselves behind the centre-halves. Henderson and Kabak, for once, as a makeshift centre-half pairing, really worked really well. The midfield, again, it was all about the midfield. There was around 11 players always in that midfield area from both sides. It was a crowded zone. Liverpool, in the first half, played a little bit of a balanced kind of game, playing on possession, trying to find spaces behind the centre-half, and then changing to sitting deep. But in the second half, it was mostly sitting deep and waiting for Leipzig to make mistakes and bounce on the counter. Jurgen Klopp probably figured that out in the dressing room, and they certainly capitalised. Two fatal mistakes from Leipzig. Like, literally, the whole game defensively from Leipzig was fine, but the only two times where they make genuine mistakes, Liverpool pounce. They score Salah in the 53rd minute and Mane in the 58th minute, and I think I could say it's going to take a lot of work from Leipzig if they want to make a comeback in the away game to Anfield, and I don't think they will, because they needed a goal. They could have scored a goal late on in the game. They pressed after the two goals. The last half an hour of the game was all theirs, pretty much, having a couple of attempts not exactly on target, couple of shots. They had a very late attempt by Juan Hichan coming on as a substitute, almost scoring late on and giving Leipzig somewhat of a silver lining leading into the second leg, but unfortunately they missed it. And overall, this was, I think, a very professional, very brilliant game for Liverpool, who, didn't budge defensively for all of expectations. They really crashed and smashed our expectations of them defensively. Leipzig, on the other side, weren't exactly as effective as we expected them to be. A lot of bad shooting, a lot of bad finishing, and overall, Liverpool deserved to win on their defensive performance, at least peaking their moments really well and bouncing on the mistakes that Leipzig made. It wasn't exactly the best of games for the defenders of Leipzig, Mukiele in particular, and Klostermann, the two, side centre-halves. It's not exactly Upamecano, although he himself that wasn't a good showcase for him coming to Bayern next summer. Klosterman and Mukiele had a hard time containing Salah and Mane, and as I mentioned again, any long ball from the fullbacks from the midfield would find its way past them and into Sadio Mane and Mo Salah. Overall, again, a deserved win for Liverpool, a deserved performance for Liverpool, lifting the spirits of the players and the coach, especially Jurgen Klopp, has been under a lot of pressure for footballing reasons and for other reasons, obviously, lifting a little bit of a pressure, boosting his morale ahead of a Merseyside derby on Sunday that is going to define a lot of things as well in their league season. That's it from me for this match recap. I'm your boy, the HOD of the BSB. Like, share, comment on this video what you thought of the game, subscribe to the channel, enable notifications to receive all the updates, and you can listen to our podcast tomorrow on Spotify, Google Podcasts, or any other platform. And until the next time, until tomorrow, I was your boy, the HOD of the BSB. Enjoy your night and goodbye.